Hi guys, it's Ghoul and welcome to my channel. I hope this reaches you well. Today we're going to be doing a vampire mansion and yeah, let's just get on in with the video. So if you've noticed already, the house is pre-built. I did it by accident but I really didn't want to just disregard this footage as we had some amazing moments which you'll see later on. I do primarily use the vampire pack to kind of just give it that vamp vibe that we all know and love, and yeah, there's a lot of trial and error with this one, as pretty much most of my builds as I kind of built on the fly, but overall I do think it turned out really well and I've absolutely loved building it. This is our second one in our spooky series. I think we've got like 3 or 4 more, but yeah, so I hope you enjoy. So something I have noticed that I do in my builds is kind of make it very blocky and very square. So I hope by adding in some more of these curved walls that we kind of get away from that and learn a few more tips and tricks from the trade. I look at Pinterest and Twitter and other Sims builders all the time to pick up inspiration, and this really struck with me as something that I think would look pretty cool. Is just having different levels and different shapes at the front of the house without it being like a stereotypical big tower or what have you, and I think it worked super well. As you can see here, I kind of go for a wraparound porch, and in hindsight I probably would have made it a little thicker as to make the roof that you'll see in a minute a little easier to make, but overall using the this kind of shape really made me use the terrain a lot more and use the space without it being too crowded, so I absolutely love how it turned out. I do think that this house is probably the most interesting front I've had for a while. I have fallen again, like I say, into that trap of having a square build, but yeah, I kind of like the fact that it's a little different, and of course we do go in with the ornate fences and such to match the tops, and overall I think this is probably the prettiest house I've built in a very long time. So going on in with the minor cosmetics, meaning, making sure all the fences are the same, and I think the tops of the fences, I think they're called like spandrels, but overall making sure it all looks the same. And here is probably the hardest part for me. If you follow any of my videos on Twitch, on Twitter, on TikTok, on any social platform of mine, you know that the roof and me on The Sims just do not go. So I really tried hard on this one to make it look a little different. I am happy with how it turned out, but if you guys can already see, there is a big gap in the fencing at the top, so I just kind of just went with it. And yeah, I think I would definitely make the bottom part a little thicker so we could add more of a flat roof on for next time. There's like this really cool lattice one that I definitely want to try, using walls and empty like spaces and stuff like that to kind of make a trellis, but yeah, I think it does add a little something to the front of the house. And as you can see, I do go in and sort out the fence. That's probably my only bugbear with this roof, but overall I really like how it turned out. I thought it kind of looked really cool. And I've just realised I should probably have a little counter in the corner for how many times I say and cool in this video. So going on in with what I call enveloping or surrounding the location. I do use the absolutely massive iron fence, which in hindsight I probably could have saved myself a lot of time and hassle if I just would have went with the first one. But I really like the whole like vampy drama of having a really big gothic kind of fence at the front of the house, but as you can see the gate didn't fit, so we had to adjust, and I don't know, I like it, but I think again I probably would have either made the house a little further back so there could be like a bit more of a pathway to the gate, or kind of like make it a lot more different looking at the front maybe. So that's my tip for next time, is I will try not to build it, like try not to use all of like the grid space basically. But yeah, I like how we managed to get the matching gate and the matching fence up in time with like the, you know, it matches the doorway quite well, and yeah, so we're getting into like the roofs and everything else in a minute, but for now I wanted to talk to you about terrain. So I love doing outdoor terrain in all of my builds. I probably put flowers everywhere I shouldn't, but I don't know, I just like the fact that it kind of looks a bit more personal with some trees and flowers everywhere. But this one's a bit different because for some reason in the vampire pack they've got dead trees and dead plants, but I think we managed to make it work, even though I don't know, I think it fits the environment well, which is what we planned, you know, which is the goal basically. I do like the fact that we went with different shapes and sizes, and I just think it does look really, really cool. Again with the cool gun. I gotta think of other words to describe this video other than cool. But yeah, so we do go in and we change the colour of the roof. I do think in hindsight I probably should have stuck with the black because I don't know, it just looks super moody, but I really wanted the details in on the tiles, so we did go for that kind of light grey colour. And also, you guys should know me by now, I never just put one plant down. I've got to put like 50 down. So this is me adding some more things into the terrain. Kind of a bit worried because I had a little plan for the side of the house, which will be revealed in a minute, but I wasn't sure I'd had the time to fit it in, but as you can see, well, if you stay till the end you'll know what I mean. So we did go in with some extra rocks and things and landscaping basically, just because it's like, I don't know, I look back at some of my videos and I think that's way too extra, but at some point, you know, I don't know what it is, I love it. So I do go in with this amazing cobblestone to kind of break it up a little bit because I didn't really want it to be perfect grass if we didn't have perfect plants, and yeah, it went really, really well. So going on in, I do end up using a brick wall for the front. If you guys know me by now, I don't like a lot of contrasting colours and prints, and I really was not sure about this red brick, but it did actually end up looking really, really cool. I love the fact that it kind of added a little bit of like a modern feel, but it wasn't too modern, if you catch my drift. There's still like some classic horror elements in there, and I did think about changing the wallpaper about 3 or 4 times, as again you guys would know because I am the most indecisive Sims builder ever. So going on in with the vampire set windows, I love how the black matches the roof and it goes really well with the tile, and I go in with all the windows I can because I know if I don't want them later on it's easier to take them out than to put them back in. So going on in next with the floor patterns, as I said earlier in the video, I do want to use as much of the vampire pack as possible, even if it meant going against my own beliefs and mismatching wallpapers and tiles and all of that good stuff. If it was me, I just would have stuck to purple, red, grey and black, and I really wouldn't have gone any other colours. But no, I thought I'd do the wallpaper and the flooring and really harness all of the pack and show you guys how much is actually in there, because I don't utilise it enough, and it's something that I'm going to start doing more and more of. As I say, if it was me, I just sort of stuck with one type of floor and one colour floor. I certainly wouldn't have gone with like matching carpets to matching wallpaper, but trying something new. I do go in with these amazing doors, and I knew I wanted to keep the bottom area kind of open plan, so as always, so I do go in with this, and I love how the front door matches the windows. It's such a small thing to be pleased about, but it is. And as you can see, there are moments where I do use other parts of the pack, but yeah, what is this wallpaper situation? I do end up going with kind of a matchy one for the what I would call the kitchen, but yeah, the bathroom one, I don't know, I love the floor and the ceiling and the wallpaper, but I would not put them together. Going on here to what I thought would have been one of the bedrooms, I wanted to go with blue and then purple for our dear friend Atomic, also known as Kim, because our favourite colour is purple and it's pretty vampy. And also, side note, I totally forgot to build another room because otherwise the sim would have just gone into one room into another, so I thought I'd create a smaller bedroom here and yeah, go from there. And I did end up getting the bat wallpaper, so there is every wallpaper in this house, and there should be every type of tile, or at least every type of flooring bar one, I think. But yeah, like I said earlier, I want to take as much of the pack as possible. And here was the biggest question of the entire build, like, do vampires have kitchens? Like, I mean, I love the idea of a vampire cooking for all their human friends, but would a vampire really have a kitchen? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know your views. We did go for the modern Victorian kind of kitchen, and yeah, of course, well, of course I did, in black and white, because it is my favourite colour scheme. And I don't know, I just thought it added like a little bit of a block in between the carpet and the wallpaper. So I also did go in and kind of go for the matching fridge and like oven combo. I kind of just like the fact that it was kind of old-timey, kind of retro looking, and yeah, I just thought it'd be really cool to at least like pretend that the vampires living there would cook for their human friends, or at least like pretend to like eat something. I don't know, like I love making up stories as I build, so I thought it'd be cute. We do go in with the sink. This did take me a hot minute because I was adamant on trying to use as much of the pack as possible, but I just really did not think that the the sink fit well, so I did end up resourcing that for something else. But yeah, it took me a little minute, as you can see, and in the end I just thought, nope, it's not gonna go in there. So we did end up changing some things around. But yeah, like, I don't know, I had this image of a group of vampires cooking for a human friend that popped over, probably because I'd listened to something from Twilight the day before or something, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah, so I did and about this sink situation for a little while before kind of leaving it where it was, and then I do change my mind, but you guys know that I'm the most indecisive Sims player ever. But yeah, I do put in this amazing kind of what I would say is like a plate cabinet, and for some reason a giant urn, because you know we must have an urn in the house. But yeah, like I say, I do go in and I change the sink just to kind of sort of fit it in a little more. Going back in, I would have put the silver one in, not the bronze. But yeah, I definitely love how this turned out, and I really wanted to go for this really gorgeous, cute, like recipe book idea as well. Which kind of fits in with, you know, what we said, that, you know, our little dream of our amazing vamps cooking for humans. I've got this like vision of them like crying over garlic bread or something, you know. And I did want to change the kitchen floor because I just didn't really feel like the carpet kind of fit in with the kitchen. You know, woe betide they drop anything and couldn't hoover it out or something. I don't know, like my brain goes mad when I think about Sims builds. So going on in now, I do build a very quick bathroom because I know exactly the kind of stuff that I wanted to use, and it was fairly simple to kind of just use all the vampire stuff, get that sink in that one in that room. And although I feel like I could have decorated more, I wasn't too sure if vampires use the bathroom. I don't know. So like the same with the whole kitchen thing, I'm not sure, like I don't know, I wouldn't really know that kind of side of them. So again, if you guys think that a vampire would use a bathroom or a kitchen, let me know in the comments below. I actually think it'd be quite funny to talk about. So yeah, so definitely I didn't know what I wanted to do with this room in general, so I did skip it till last. But of course this is the purple room that I absolutely adore. I thought it was really cool. I kind of wanted a normal bed and like a coffin because I kind of wanted the vampire to have an option of both. I don't know why. I absolutely love storytelling as I build, and I just generally thought it might be funny. So yeah, so I did go around and decorate, you know, kind of with as much vampy stuff as possible, realizing very quickly that those curtains are way too big. And yeah, and I did put in some mirrors, and I was reading something on Pinterest the other day about like mirrors obviously having silver and lead in them, and that's why vampires couldn't use them, and obviously modern day ones don't use them as much. So I kind of put a few mirrors in this house. So yeah, I knew I wanted a fireplace and something somewhere cozy to read, as this is in tribute to one of the amazing people that have been so good in my life lately. And yeah, she's an absolute bookworm and I love the bones of her, so I thought I'd include it here too. I do go a bit mad with the purple as you can see, but I kind of think it worked well in its favour. The only downside to using everything in the vampire pack is the lights are quite yellow, so it does give off like a cozy ethereal kind of vibe. But yeah, I thought this room turned out really cute, and although I probably would decorate a little more, I do love the fact that, you know, we've just managed to get as much purpley kind of vampire bits in it. So going into this room, I originally wanted it to be a ballroom, or at least somewhere where you can just have a dance, and I realised quite quickly that these lights are too big as well, so we kind of went with some smaller ones and some sconces on the walls to kind of give it a gentle kind of lighting without it being too harsh, just in case we do decide to make it more of a party room than, you know, like a functional kind of room. And then I had this brilliant idea to put a massive organ on the side, and I just thought it'd be really cool to have some kind of thing where the vampires in the build could be playing it and the others could be relaxing or dancing or just spending time together, because, well, I mean, they've got eternity to spend with each other, haven't they? So yeah, I just kind of felt like it worked, and I really wanted to go with like rich colours, so I did go with like deep browns and golds and reds, and I thought, you know, I thought it kind of turned out like fairly well. It kind of ended up being more of an entertainer kind of room, and I did forget to put the shelves in the kitchen, so I did run back and do that. I am one of those ones that I think as I'm building what I'm forgetting, and you'll see at the end one of the main things I forgot. So yeah, so I did carry it on and put like a little bar in. In hindsight, I probably would have put maybe like a fireplace, some smaller chairs down, that kind of thing, and decorate it in like more of a different kind of way. But yeah, you know, hindsight is a blessing and all of that. So yeah, so these are the majority of the paintings. I do like how they, yeah, I don't know, I like the fact that they take up a good amount of space. And well, talking of space, this massive frame did go in the other bedroom because I thought the frame kind of matched the wallpaper a bit. So going on in with this build, I kind of went with just some coffins and some very basic rooms because frankly I was scared I was running out of time and making this video a little bit too long. So I did go in and just do it very basic. I love these kind of like lanterns. I think they look super cool, and I mean I don't know, I just thought they fit the like the I don't know, the vibe of the house really well. So yeah, so I did kind of put them everywhere. If you know me in real life, you know I am a massive fan of candles, and for some reason I thought that was a wall, so I did place that there, but I did remove it in the end. So yeah, so I did, well, in hindsight I should have put in more chairs down the bottom next to the bar, but so yeah, so I did kind of, this is where I started to kind of go in to other packs just to flesh out any tables, because I really wanted the feel of candles everywhere and like the items from the paranormal pack, so things like crystal balls and portraits and things like that. And yes, I did use the scrying glass end table again because I thought it really kind of fitted the vibe that we were going for. Going back into it, I probably would put in a few more bookcases and things like that to line the wall so it didn't maybe look so empty. So yeah, so that is something that I probably would do next time, is just be more mindful of where things are going and like maybe how to decorate a room where without it being too cluttered, or the other way around. So here's me just finishing up with the lighting outside. I really wanted to include like some like really cool Victorian lanterns outside, and when looking back when I took photos of this build for the thumbnail, I should have put some more lights on the outside, but again, overall, you know, again, hindsight is always something. There's always something I pick up on in the video as I'm editing it out. And yes, I do go in and hide a cookie jar. If you guys spot it, obviously, because I mention it, let me know in the comments if you spot that one too. As I say, I wanted the house to have lots of candles and still lots of life in it, which is pretty ironic because, you know, it's a vampire house, but at the same time I just really wanted it to be welcoming and kind of cozy and kind of enchanting. You know how like vampires have that natural glamour where they kind of trick you into thinking that everything is safe and cozy and warm. I just kind of wanted to give my house that kind of vibe, and using all these lights to give it that yellow glow definitely kind of helped. So here's quite a funny bit for me actually, to be fair. I will say the last note is that I wanted to go around and add a few rugs in, again with that cozy vibe feeling, but yeah, I couldn't really find any that I really vibed with. There are a lot of mismatched areas here, but I definitely knew that I wanted one in the purple room, and I actually really loved how the red one turned out, so I kind of fixed it for the purple room as well. And at the time I didn't think it was even, but it actually was. So again, I go in and I change things all of the time, and yeah, so as you can see, I could not get on with these rugs. I definitely wanted to add a little something, so I kind of went for the really big living colour rug for the main room, and I kind of like how that turned out. And I did go in with the kind of square rug for here a few times, but I really could not choose what I wanted. It was back and forth for a good while, until I kind of like got fearful of me running out of time. So I did move this around a fair few times, and I probably went back in and moved it a few times off screen as well. But again, I just wanted it to look a little different. I was kind of worried that with it looking too much of the same with the wallpaper and stuff. So yeah, so I stuck it in the kitchen, and it actually didn't really work. So I'm definitely always one to kind of put my hands up and say this didn't work this time, so I went with this instead. And then, like I say, I thought it would just add to the vibe a little bit, it would match the walls, and it wouldn't look so, well, I want to say garish, but I don't know if that's quite the right word. So here is the main bit at the end. I really wanted to use this little space as, I don't know, as like a little kind of area outside. I wanted to add it for, well, as a nod to my previous build. So I built a vampire mansion before, but it just really did not kind of gel well with what I wanted, and I probably built around 6 of them, and none of them kind of really appealed to what I wanted until now. So we've kind of refined it a little bit. So here was the little cool section at the end, I'd say, and that is the graveyard. Of course, if vampires are bringing people home to cook for and possibly make a snack out of, you know, where are they going to put their bodies? So I thought I would make a little kind of cute graveyard at the end. I absolutely adore the Weeping Woman statue. I think she's so beautiful, and I don't know, I just thought it really added to the look. I'm probably like a nerd, a total nerd, and I've gone overboard, but again, I really think it works super well. Here's me trying to get a really good shot of all of it for you, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you think a vampire would need a bathroom and a kitchen and also, you know, what do you think about the build? I'd love to know. And thank you so much for the absolute amazing feedback on my last video. And if you've just spotted, I did forget to put the stairs in. My elders had to remind me. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and I hope I will see you soon. Bye!